All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It's almost over, except for the shouting, as team owner John Fisher is one step closer to moving his athletics from Oakland, which has been the team's home since 1968, in favor of Las Vegas. The A's cleared a big hurdle earlier this week when the Nevada legislature approved public funding for a $1.5 billion stadium for the athletics on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, Fisher is not Mr. Popularity in the Bay Area, as A's fans and even some fans of the San Francisco Giants are not thrilled with his determination to take this team out of Northern California. I don't know Fisher personally, but to me, he gives off the vibe of a shady used car salesman. And from the outside looking in, it does not sound like he negotiated in good faith with the city of Oakland. John Fisher, to me, and I've said this before, and other people have said it as well, and I'm going to say it once again right now. He's a real life version of Rachel Phelps from the movie Major League. And for me, like other people, if the A's were so hell bent on getting a grandiose stadium in Oakland, then why did they agree to something on a smaller scale in Vegas? Something smells rotten here, and you have to read between the lines. Why was there so much opposition from the Nevada legislature at the beginning of this before they initially gave in to Fisher? I'm sure there was some backdoor channeling done in order to get this done. And, it just makes you wonder because the A's operate with one of the smallest payrolls in Major League Baseball, and they've done so for decades now. But if Fisher is counting his pennies so much, then where did this money for the new stadium come from? I'll tell you like this: revenue sharing has been an issue for Major League Baseball for quite some time because you hear about stories where the small market teams are basically just pocketing, the money that the big market teams give them. And it's like if the A's are crying poverty for all these years, where did they get the money from for this new stadium? I know Major League Baseball is kicking in some as well, but still, where did all of this magical windfall, if you will, come from? To me, the initial opposition from the A's moving to the Vegas Strip could be a harbinger of things to come there. Because the thing is this: the legislature made some great points because they really grilled the A's representatives as far as the move. Because in contrast to the Vegas Golden Knights going uh, to the NHL, pardon me, being part of the NHL expansion in 2017, that team was built from the ground up. And of course, right now they're Stanley Cup champions. You think about the Raiders when they left Oakland as well and debuted in Vegas in 2020. The Raiders have a cult like fan base that will make it easy and has made it easy for people to travel there. The A's have a loyal fan base, but I don't see those people coming from Northern California to the Vegas Strip. But then on top of that, how are you going to establish a fan base in Nevada? Because the thing is, you have fans there, but a lot of those fans are Dodgers fans, maybe Giants fans, you name it, but they ain't Oakland A's fans. So right now, you're really starting from the ground up. And if that was the case, why not just simply put an expansion team in Las Vegas if you're Major League Baseball and just keep the A's in the Oakland area? You think about it. I, again, this thing just smells. And credit to the fans of the Oakland A's because these are some beloved people. There's some disrespected people as well, and they've let their voices be heard through social media and protest. As the city of Oakland, they really love their teams, and it's not just the A's right now. When the Raiders were in Oakland, regardless if it was the Raiders of the 60s and 70s, and especially those Raiders of the 70s that were coached by John Madden. You think about some of the greats that played on those teams, Cliff Branch, Phil Villipiano, of course, Ken Stabler, Jack Tatum, so many others. And then, of course, when the Raiders returned, in the mid 90s, this team was beloved. And it was a dark day when they left. And of course, the Warriors went back across the bay to San Francisco. And that, I'm sure, hurts Oakland as well. And now they're losing another team in the A's. But nonetheless, these fans have been loyal and they've been disrespected, but they've been letting their frustration be known, and it makes, and come out. And at the end of the day, this is the thing that the people of Las Vegas need to be wary of. What makes you think that John Fisher all of a sudden is going to be a big spender and develop a contender when this team arrives in Vegas? And what makes you think that the A's are going to be able to draw there? They're not. Okay. That at the end of the day, it's one of those where this is kind of like the guy who's on the street playing three card stud, trying to, and you could see the trick coming. That's what's happening with John Fisher trying to move his team to Vegas. Uh, Fisher has A's team president Dave Cavall, as well as MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred, doing all of his PR while they're trying to put a positive spin on one of the biggest sham jobs in sports in recent history. Even though that Oakland is not the first home for the A's. They started off in Philadelphia and then Kansas City before really getting their feet entrenched in Oakland. But nonetheless, this just does not feel right. To me, this ranks up there with the original Browns leaving Cleveland in favor of Baltimore, the Giants and Dodgers each leaving New York City for the West Coast, the Rams leaving Los Angeles for St. Louis, and then the Colts leaving Baltimore for Indianapolis. The people of Oakland are set to lose their beloved A's, and Manfred nor Major League Baseball seem to really care, as everybody there is simply playing the don't blame me card. Oh, we feel bad for the fans, yada, yada, yada. If the game of baseball is so much about the fans, then why is Major League Baseball hell bent on taking a team away from a city that actually loves and cherishes them in favor of one that's built on casinos and tourism? That's no disrespect to Las Vegas. I just don't see this city getting behind the Oakland Athletics. Good luck filling those seats in the new stadium in Vegas. As to me, the A's going there has the makings of another Miami situation when the Marlins fleeced the folks down there to build a new stadium on the site of what was once the Orange Bowl. And we've seen how the attendance has been in Miami for the Marlins. And honestly, let's be realistic. We saw how the attendance was for the Marlins at Joe Robbie Stadium, even when they were winning. So but kudos at the end of the day to the A's fans, at least in the city of Oakland, for standing up to the big guy, if you will. And even though that the final outcome will more than likely not be what they want and deserve, they have made their voices heard in the face of greed. And for that, I definitely salute them. If and when the A's leave Oakland, will Major League Baseball do the right thing and soon award an expansion team to this city? Probably not. Things are going to have to change, and I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again. The city of Oakland, they're going to really have to entrench their feet, if you will, in being enticing to professional sports leagues. It's probably going to have to be something where maybe showing whomever the plans to make a quote unquote grandiose downtown arena, downtown stadium, something that's going to captivate some of these leagues, to come back to their town. And it's going to be one of those. It's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. This might be worth a generation before we see it happen. Remember, both the Raiders and Rams left Los Angeles and left the greater Los Angeles area after the 94 NFL season. And it took more than 2 decades before the NFL put another team back in LA. Of course, the Rams and Chargers now share SoFi Stadium at Inglewood. But nonetheless, you figure LA is the second biggest media market in the United States. and it took them that long to once again get an NFL franchise. So I think it's a scenario where it might be a generation before we see the Oakland area get another baseball or football team. And it's sad because those people there are passionate and they do truly deserve better. But at the end of the day, how to alienate a fan base, let me count the ways. As Fisher and Manfred have made it their business to focus on the casino chips and slot machines of Vegas. And in the process, they've deafened their wealthy ears to the cries of pain from the people of Oakland. To me, at the end of the day, there really are no winners in this situation. I know Fisher's going to get his team to Vegas. Fisher's going to get a new stadium. Fisher is going to act like he's done something great. At the end of the day, all he's done is torn down the legacy of the A's in the great city of Oakland. We've even heard Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, come out and say, well, they wanted to stay in Oakland, but it was Fisher who basically blocked, their proposal to build a new stadium for the Raiders in the parking lot of the Oakland Coliseum. And now for Fisher to do this is a slap in the face to everybody. But nonetheless, the fans of Oakland, you're not getting what you truly want, but credit to you for showing, your loyalty. Show credit to you for going out there and fighting this thing as much as you possibly could. You've been fighting, you're going to keep fighting. And at the end of the day, for the folks of Oakland, hopefully some good comes out of this. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now, you can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.